So it's 2020, right, y'all? And I was on Instagram. I had my business going and all of that. I started following somebody. I'm not going to name them. And I got introduced to Keisha Green. And I started following Keisha Green. And every week she would host a Zoom. I forgot. I want to say it's Prayer Push, but I know her one of her Instagram pages is Push Collection or something like that. And when I tell y'all that lady could pray her tail off, that lady can pray her tail off. I still have notes that I used to take from her Zoom when she used to host it, and I really hope that she excuse me. I really hope that she start back hosting it because baby, I'll be glad to get back on there. And I remember hearing the way that she prayed, and I was like, Lord, I want to be able to pray like that. Like I want that. Not knowing what she had to go through to build up her prayer life or anything, but it was just like I admired it, and I was like, that lady could really get down and pray. So I wrote a letter to God, and I told him like I wanted to be able to pray like Keisha Green. Shout out to you, Keisha Green. But I started listening to the Clark sisters, and then they came out with their movie in 2020 as well. And they did a virtual concert, and a friend at that time had tickets, and she was like, I know you like them. I'm not going to watch it because you had to have the ticket to get in or the link to click on it or whatever. She was like, do you want it? And I was like, yeah. So I attended the concert virtually or whatever. And the Clark sisters have a song called Praying Spirit. I like the version that they came out with the movie versus the original version. And I would just listen to that on my way to work. I would play it out throughout my apartment and everything. And eventually, y'all, and when I say eventually, I'm talking about my prayer life was built piece by piece. Literally. But it all started with me being on Instagram and being inspired by Keisha Green. Whatever God was doing in that lady, however she was being obedient and she was getting on Instagram, whether she felt like it or not, I'm thankful. I am so thankful for that because 2020, building my prayer life, to now 2025, able to tear things down in the spirit with my prayer life, like, man. And and people don't realize how good of an impact you make on other people just by them hearing you pray. And what reminded me of all of this was I was on TikTok, and it's a creator who was saying when you have certain things, you have to remember to ask God to have the ability to obtain and maintain those things. And that is something specifically that Keisha was praying in one of those prayers. And I wrote that down. And that's how I was like, I heard that somewhere. Where did I hear that at? And it came back quick. The Holy Spirit reminded me. Keisha Green prayed that in one of her prayers. And I was like, wow. Like, I'm still in awe. And I am going to tag her. I'm going to tag her because I don't think she really realized how God moved within her. And it's not anything to idolize or nothing, but it's like, thank you. Like, I just thank you for being obedient. Thank you for getting on those Zooms and getting on Instagram going live when you were tired and when you was going through your own things. Thank you for pushing through, because it's people like me that she made an impact on in my foundation of me starting a relationship with Christ. Now, that's the very beginning of it, because when I ask God for a praying spirit, not only do I be praying in spirit while trying to sleep, but I started going through things in 2021 and 2022 that I had no choice but to pray. And I had to pray my way through things and up and out of situations. So I count it all joy. But I'm thankful because I'm remembering the foundation of how all of this started. Like, what was the basics? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's some other stuff. Like, I've been in the choir, being a kid and all that type of stuff, but when you're just doing stuff in church, it's different versus when you really go to God and you really want something and you really want a relationship with him. Like, that's the part that I feel like really matters, when you want something yourself with the Lord. So I just wanted to share my story time. That's all. Bye, y'all.